The first thing you need to start doing prior to doing any kind of grilling is actually take a look at your grill. Make sure it's serviceable, make sure it's actually in good working order. A lot of people just go out and start grilling without ever taking a look at it as it sits through the winter months. A lot of cold weather, obviously places can do some harm to the actual tubing of the grill, the propane if it's gas. Before using your grill the first time, turn your gas on and check the system. Check the valve, make sure you put a little bit of soapy water on the valve, make sure you don't have those bubbles coming out, and follow that all the way up the line, all the way until you come to the burner. Make sure your line has no leaks in it prior to using it. And this is the very easy way to do that, is by getting a spray bottle, put some Dawn dish detergent in it, soap it up really well, and then spray your lines. And that propane coming out of the line itself and the valve will actually form a bubble, will start bubbling, and that lets you know that you have a leak within your line. So you obviously, if your line has a leak in it, you want to get it serviced. You want to take it to a service provider, have them service for you. That may just tell you that your actual gas lines themselves have gone bad, may have cracks in them, and they just need to be replaced. So then you also need to look at the grill itself. It needs to be cleaned prior to starting your first grill. Obviously, this is not how you want your grill to look. You want to make sure that all the leaves and debris is away from the grill. Make sure your area is clean. Also, when you have this grill here, you can see what this grill looks like. You have a lot of grease on top. Biggest thing is once you remove the grates itself, you can see what it looks like inside this grill. You have a lot of grease, a lot of product in here that is accumulating, and this stuff will burn. All this stuff right here will actually burn if you provide enough heat to it, and it'll flame up on you. That's not what you want to have in here. You want to have nice clean area. You want to make sure that your actual burners themselves don't have any debris around it, because what you want to have this grill do is provide these burners with a nice clean burn. You want to make sure the blue flame's coming out of it. You don't want to have a whole awful lot of yellow flame coming out of it. Reason being is you're not burning cleanly. All this stuff right here is the grease that catches fire when you're grilling out. It's very important that you place your grill in the proper spot while you are cooking. Obviously, a grill needs to be in an open area. You need to pull it away from the house. We run calls all the time when people start grilling up against the house with vinyl siding. If it gets too hot and you leave it, what's it going to do? It's going to melt the vinyl siding, or actually possibly catch the vinyl siding on fire. Same thing with overhangs. You never grill underneath an overhang. Okay? You always grill in an open area. You don't want to be in a closed area, because all this smoke and fumes that are given off from this grill is going to accumulate in the closed area space, which can cause you problems. Okay, so always bring your grill out, make sure it's in an open area, make sure there's no overhangs over top of it, make sure you're not close to something that's combustible, make sure you're not close to even furniture that you have on your patio or your porch. Make sure you're away from things. Give yourself a good 4 or 5 foot area around your grill in order for you to cook, so you don't have to worry about that heat that's been transferred to something else to catch that something else on fire. A lot of times, a lot of the newer propane tanks actually come with an actual gauge on the outside of it. Obviously, it'll tell you whether it's full or halfway full or empty. There's also devices that you can go buy at Walmart or Lowe's or any convenience store, department store, that actually has, it's kind of like a piece of tape, and it works off of temperature. And what that means is you put this piece of tape on the side of your propane tank, and whichever level that your propane is up to, it'll show that mark on that piece of tape. But you can take propane and swirl it around, and you'll feel that it's moving inside. Propane is a liquid. It's a compressed liquid, which means it's compressed enough to where it's a compressed gas, which means that it's compressed to where it actually keeps a liquid state inside these tanks. So what you have here is when you turn it on, all you have is the gas that's burning off going through these lines. So you can feel the liquid inside the tank. Also, another way that you can tell is you can put your hand down at the bottom wherever it's cooler, is pretty much will take you to the level that it's at. This is actually the inside of the tank. When this tank is cut away, what you'll have is obviously that you have this device that's inside, which is an actual cutoff. Propane itself, when they fill the tank, they only fill it to 80% of its capacity. Reason being is propane, like I was talking about earlier, is a liquid. When it's compressed, it turns into a liquid. So when it gets up to 80%, that 20% is the actual gas layer, the vapor layer that you have in the upper portion of this tank. And that's what comes out of the valve when you turn it on, is the gas that comes out and actually feeds your grill. Typically you want a fire extinguisher that's an ABC fire extinguisher. Basically what you're going to use is at no point in time, if you have a grease fire, which is most likely what you're going to have, do you ever want to put water directly on that fire? Because what happens is when water hits grease, what's it going to do? It's going to spread, it's going to blow out. So the best thing to do is you need to use a fire extinguisher, and typically anything you buy from Walmart or Lowe's, you want it to be ABC extinguisher. A is for just regular combustibles, okay? B is for flammable liquid, C is for the energized stuff. So what you have is any point in time that you have these things that are burning, it's always good to have your good regular fire extinguisher with you. Whatever you're doing, the kids want to be there. So you need to make sure you have yourself an area around that grill where there's a no kid zone. Okay, obviously when the grill is hot, it's really warm. All they have to do is bump up against it one time and they're going to burn themselves. Okay, or they can go, if you're not paying attention and you're not watching that grill, they can go over there and actually lift the top of the grill up. And if you have something inside it that's too hot or it's burning and it's flaming, of course they're going to get burned. So you want to make sure that you have a no kid zone around that grill to where they are not to get close to that. Remember, once you close this grill, all that heat is being built up inside there and it will get extremely hot. Your thermometer, it'll be pegged out 700 degrees and past. So you need to be very, very cautious about that. That when you come up here, not only will the grill top, the cover be hot, so will the handles. The handles will be hot also. So when you come up here, if you leave this alone and you leave the top down on it for any prolonged period of time, when you come up to this and you actually grab this handle, you can burn yourself on this handle. So you need to be very cautious. Never leave your grill closed with the top down for a prolonged period of time, because what you've done is all this heat that's inside that would typically be moving itself out with the grill top open, it is working and heating that top when the grill top is closed. So you want to be very, very careful with that. Obviously hamburger that has more grease in it is going to drip and it's going to flame. Okay, it's just the way it is. Or you're going to have chicken that still has the skin on it. It's going to flame. So that in itself, if your heat is too hot, it'll actually start burning that food. It'll burn that grease and you'll have flames that might be coming out from underneath the grill or burning off from the food that you have on the grill. Anytime that you leave a grill for a prolonged period of time and you allow this food to cook inside this grill with the grill top down, it'll still catch fire and you'll have flames that will be coming out from underneath the grill, blowing itself out underneath the grill. If your grill looks like this, obviously at no point in time do you ever want to come up to your grill and try to even get close to it. You've got too much heat, too much flame coming off of it. Best thing to do is step back. You've already moved it outside because you put it in a good place for you to start your grilling. You step back, call the fire department, and we'll come and take care of the situation and go ahead and put the fire out for you. Obviously, if your grill's burning off and you have an open flame and your top's open, you have your extinguisher at the house that you've already bought prior to grilling. Your extinguisher will come with a pin. The thing that you need to remember is the acronym PASS. Pull your pin, set it down to the side. You want to aim. You never want to aim directly at the flame itself. You want to start before it, okay? Go ahead and pull the pin, start spraying, and work your way towards it, putting it out, just like that. Never come up to it and spray directly down upon it, because what you're going to do is this will actually push the flame out. It'll be harder to put out. So if you start back, start at the base, sweep, work yourself towards it, that'll allow you to put out the flame just like that. This is not cool. This is still hot. So even though you've put the fire out, you don't need to come up here and start touching and playing with the grill. You can feel the heat off this grill. I'm back this far and I can feel the heat off this grill still. So you can still get burned. You can still, your kids can still get up close and get burned by it. So at no point in time, just leave it the way that it is. Let it sit there and it'll cool itself. We put the fire out, but you haven't gone over here. Remember, this is still going to be hot. So if you have gases coming out of this tank, it can reignite the tank. It can actually reignite it again, so you still have the same problem. So after you put it out, allow it to cool, okay? But you still need to try to get over here and cut your gas off to your tank. Otherwise, it'll reignite and you'll have the same problem all over again. Then you have to put it out again. So, grab your extinguisher. Your pin's already been pulled. You aim, okay? You spray and you sweep, and that'll put it out. Okay, now that you've put it out, remember you've already had it to reignite. So now what you have to do is come down here, close it off, and back away, and it should take care of itself.